Hello, can anybody hear me? If you are here, please just comment on the hair. Okay, I can see Yusuf. HOC is already here, very punctual. Can you hear me? If you can hear, okay, yes, good, good. So let's wait for others. Let me just give them like this is 31. Let's just give them in the next 5 minutes. I think it was okay, okay, okay. I'm seeing people. That's good. That's good. That's good. So, how many people do we have here? I think there are just five in numbers. So let's just in next 5 minutes we'll start the class. The next 5 minutes we'll start the class. Ayomide Grace, Doyin, Oyin Consola. Yeah, good morning to you too. Um, Emanuela, Rejoice Emmanuel. Good, good. HOC, I'm seeing you. I sight you. Okay, I think let's still give them once it's 10:35, I will I will start the class. Once it's 10 so just give them 5 minutes. Olumuyiwa Emilolorun, that's good. Grace Omorenikeji, yeah. Good morning to you too. Tony Queen, morning to you. Lina Michael, morning to you too. Olorun Yomi Abiodun, good morning to you too. Yeah, yeah. I'm so happy to see you guys. I need more people. More people. So Yusuf, drop it on the WhatsApp group that they should start joining. I think it's time already. They should start joining the online class. Adeshewa Adekunle, morning to you too. Chioma Egbo, morning to you too. Janet Olorunfemi, good. I think people are starting turning up because this will be our last class on CRS 101. And if you miss this class, it's on your own uh, what is it called? On your own demerit. Okay, Vanessa Madu, Onye Otaru. Sorry if I can't pronounce the name very well. I think I'm seeing the names of my students. Morning to you all, morning to you. Ifenyika, Ifemade, good morning to you too. Ajibade Toluwalope, morning to you too. Yeah, that's good. Isaac Well, good morning to you too. Morning to you. So this is 10:33. Once it's 10:35, we'll kick off the class. We'll start. Hope you are with your either jotter or note. Make sure you are with a note, a jotter or note, and your pen, so that in case I will jot some things you need to um put down. Thank you. Yes, HOC, thank you. Marvelous Zokoria. Morning to you too. Akindele Oluwafin Kumi. Daudu Selenia. Good morning to you too. Yeah, HOC. That's good. That's good. Make sure you have something to jot down. Yeah. So in the next 1 minute, we'll start the class. This is just 10:34. So in the next 1 minute, we'll start. So anybody that are coming, they'll join. So before the end of the class, a link will be dropped by the HOD in the comment section. So kindly click on the link and fill the appropriate details that you are required to fill. Don't forget. I told you that attendance is very, very important. So yeah, I can see you are ready. Thank you very much, Amina Joseph. But in just 1 minute, I think this is 10. Okay, so we'll start now. This is already 10:35. So once others are coming, they should just join in. They should just keep joining. So good morning to you all. Yeah, thank you very much, Isaac Wallace or Isaac Wells. Good. So the course code is Arizona, which you're familiar with, and it's very important for you to yeah. Good morning, Abiola Damilola. This is the time you create your academic profile. It is If you want to have that good grade, you want to be in 2-1, you want to have first class, you actually need to build from the scratch. If the foundation is faulty, what would the righteous do? Like, you cannot build something on a faulty foundation. So for you to make a good grade, you need to start from 100 level. All your courses, you need to read and write well. When I mean write well, don't just write a page. And I told you in class, don't just write a page and you're expecting 5. Make sure you write for at least 3 to 4 pages for each question. I mean each question. And I'll tell you how you'll be answering questions. Hope you can hear me. So I'm going to tell you the structure you need to answer questions. I do tell some of my students, I think that they are in 300 level now. They're in 300 level. I told them, if you are answering question, let the person marking it see your courage. Like, if the person marking reads your answer or whatever you've written down, let them see that you are bold enough. Make sure you are bold enough while writing. Don't just write like somebody that is afraid. No, write and let it show your boldness in your writing. So if you're answering question the right way, or how to answer the question, to show your marker, the person marking that, oh, this person knows what he or she is writing, is, let me just try to explain how you can do that. If you're given a question to answer, you read the question. Make sure you read the question and understand well before attempting. That's number one thing. You can read your question before. If you have been given question paper, don't be in haste to start. What you need to do is read the questions, know the ones you want to do. You have been told that you'll be answering 3 out of 5. Read all the questions. Tick the one you'll be doing. Tick it 1, 2, 3. Not after doing one, you're not looking for which one can I do. That's how I answer questions. Once I've been given 5 questions, I'll look at number 1, read very well. Did I understand? Okay. Am I picking this? You tick it. Don't write on exam paper. Don't forget, you are not allowed to write on exam paper. So tick the 3 you'll be answering, but read the instruction. You have to read your instruction very well, understand. Some lecturer might ask you to write answer 3. Number 1 is compulsory, some maybe number 3 is compulsory, while some number 5 is compulsory. So make sure you read the instruction very well to know the ones you are doing. After reading the instruction, read the question very well. Understand the question before attempting. Then for you to answer the question, if you want to answer a question like a bold person, like a courageous person, you can just start by writing. Or before that, you first of all rewrite the question outside. You know, there'll be a place you write the number you are attempting. Oh, there's no light. Okay. There will be a particular place whereby you'll be asked to write the number you are attempting. So once you write it there, then you can write answer, then you underline. So for you to answer, you can say, to attempt the above question. In order to attempt the above question, the following will be observed. In order to attempt the above question, the following will be observed. So you can just, number 1, introduction. Introduction. The number 2 will be your content. Or under your content, you now list the things you will be discussing there. Then the last one is conclusion. If you want to get a proper mark, if you want to get a reasonable score, what you need to do is to always introduce what you want to say. Like, just give a brief introduction. If you have to do something, give a brief introduction of what you want to do. And at the end of every answer that you're attempting, always end with the conclusion. In conclusion, because let me tell you, introduction and conclusion has its own score. It has its own mark. So if you just go straight to the point without introducing, without concluding, you're already losing mark. Yeah, good morning, Manuel Macaulay. So one thing you need to do if you want to write like a just person, after you write in order to attempt the above question, the following will be observed. Number 1, introduction. Okay, let's use one question as an example. Take note of this question. Take note of this question. In case you are asked, or if you are asked to trace the historical context of the source of Christianity. Trace the historical context of the source of Christianity. That's a question. Let's assume that's the number 2 question, or let's assume that's one of the questions you'll be answering. Okay, I told you to know that question. So you can just write that in order to attempt the above question, the following shall be observed. Or to attempt the above question, the following will be noted. Number one, introduction. That is I1. Don't write it as number one, just write it number one, introduction. Number two, since we are looking at the historical context, the history of Israel, because there's not how you can attempt this question. You need to understand your question very well. You're asked to trace the historical context of Christianity. How did Christianity came out? Like, where did Christianity emerge from? Hope you understand. So you cannot ask attempt this question without telling us about the history of Israelites. So you, after writing introduction number two, the historical context of Israelites, then the last thing you're going to write down there is conclusion. So you start with your introduction. Hope you understand. Another thing I need you to note is that you should write in paragraph. It is very, very important to write in paragraph. All points must be in paragraph. Don't just write a block. Don't just write in blocks like this. If you look at this thing, this book here, it is written in blocks. But when we make paragraph is just leaving like a space after. Okay, if you want to start now, you leave a space. You leave like little space. Then you start. They've taught you what paragraph means in your secondary school. So after a particular point, you're moving to the next line. A paragraph must consist of at least 4 lines. At least what? 4 lines. Don't write 2 lines and move to another place. Leaving starting again with another paragraph. No, at least 2 lines, at most 6 or 8 lines is okay. Let all paragraph indicate your point. Hope you are getting it. Let all paragraph indicate your point. So paragraph is very, very important. If you are writing an exam, don't rush. Although there's a particular time where you need to rush up because of time. So as I said earlier, I said if you're asked to trace the historical context of the source of Christianity, what you're going to do first is to introduce that. And if you are giving us brief introduction of what you want to write, what you're going to say is that Christianity does not appear in an empty world. That is, Christianity does not just emerge from a vacuum in an empty world. Instead, it started with a word, with people who had their culture, their distinct religious life. That is how you're going to start. Just give us brief life. Christianity does not just come out from an empty place. It came out from Judaism. Christ himself. I said before that, Christianity is inconceivable. We cannot believe in Christianity without the Jewish source. Because if you are tracing what I told you in class, if you are tracing a particular person's source, we go to the person's family. Then from that, you'll be asking for state of origin, the grandfather, that is where you can see where that person emanates from. So same is applicable to Christian, that Christianity does not came out of vacuum. Jesus Christ himself is a Jew. He preached and he was active among the Jewish people. His disciple was a Jew. They are all Jew. His primary message was directed to the Jew, although in the secondary state, it is to all the whole world. But primarily it is to the Jew. Even the disciples were also Jew. And those writers of the New Testament, those people that wrote, or the authors of New Testament Bible or scripture, they are also Jews. Hope you understand. So that is that we cannot talk about Christianity without talking about the Jew. So it is important to take brief history of Israel's to take brief note of Israel's history. Now I told you that you cannot attend this question without telling us little brief history of Israelites. If you are attending this question, you want to tell us, you want to pick it from a particular place, the history of Israel down to Christ. To Christ, that's when you can stop. Because it is Jesus Christ that brought in Christianity. So if you have not gotten to that place, if you are explaining the history, if you have not gotten to Christ, it means you are not done tracing that source. Because we want to trace from Judaism to Christianity, that is the Israelite to Christ. Hope you understand. So after giving that brief explanation, and you've told us that you would like to talk about the brief history of Israel. So you can just pick it from anywhere, but I'll prefer you pick it from the death of Solomon, where the kingdom was split into two. That's okay. If you want to take it, if you want to go deep, where God said, these are my people and this blah blah blah, when God was reigning, then you take it to that of the reign of Saul, then to David and to Solomon. You can just start from Solomon. That's the death of Solomon. Died in 930 BC. And after the death of Solomon, the kingdom was split into two. the southern part and the northern part. Exactly. So you can take that history from that place, that the death of Solomon in 930 BC um ushered the it had the division of Davidic kingdom into two. That is the northern part and the southern part. The northern part is referred to as, or is called Israel. The northern part, and it was taken into captive by the Assyrian exile in 721 BC. It was taken into captive in 721. If you look at some other textbooks, it might be 722 BC. So it's still in line with them. With I mean, the date is not really it's not ascertained of 722. It's during that period that the northern part called Israel was taken into captive by the Assyrian Empire. Exactly. While the southern part is referred to as Judah. Southern part is referred to as Judah, while the northern part is called Israel. It was taken to Assyrian exile and was never restored. But that of Judah, which is the southern kingdom, was taken into exile in 586 BC. Now we have three dates that you need to take note of. The death of Solomon, which is 930 BC, then the split of the kingdom into northern and southern, while the northern, which is Israel, was taken into exile in 721 BC. That's 721 BC. The one of southern kingdom, which is Judah, was taken into exile in 586 BC. Please know that. That is very important. So the one we are going to talk about is 586 BC. And who took them into exile is the Babylonian Empire. And the king of Babylon then is Nebuchadnezzar. It was the king. It was the one that took the people of Judah, that is the southern kingdom, into exile. So after that, another thing I want you to note is that in 539 BC, Cyrus, king of Persia, I told you, Cyrus, the king of Persia, conquered Babylon. I told us that what we have then in those times is battle, fighting from the battles or war from one place to another, just with the aim of getting more territory. That's the reason why we have wars. Now that Babylon has invaded the southern kingdom, which is Judah, in 586 BC. It took them into captivity. It made them as slaves and everything there. So when Cyrus, the king of Persia, conquered Babylon, he conquered Babylon in 539 BC, and in 538 BC, just 1 year, he conquered Babylon in 539 BC. Then in 538 BC, he made a decree that any Jew or any slave that want to go back to their home are allowed to go back. If you look at when he made that degree, in 538. Sorry, 538. He conquered in 539 and he made a degree in 538, just in 1 year. If we minus the dates whereby the Israelites were taken into captive, the Israelites were taken into captive in 586 BC. 586 BC. And they were allowed to return in 538 BC, which is, I think, 48 years. So they were in captive for 48 years. Some people have died, some people have find their way, some people have established themselves, some people have gotten married. Hope you understand. So for 48 years, they were in captive and they were released by King Cyrus of Persia. Hope you understand. But he said anybody that want to go should go. Don't forget that some people stayed, while some people moved to elsewhere, some people come back to Jerusalem, and they came to build the temple, which was destroyed by Babylon. You can see now, I introduced the cause by telling us that Christianity, blah, 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 Jesus Christ is a Jew, this is that. Then you now move to the history of Israel. Just pick it from anywhere. You can start from the splitting for the north and the south. Then you take note of the here whereby they were taken into captive. So after that, you move to Alexandria. Just note this year, 334 and 330 and 323 BC. 334 and 332 BC. The person named Alexander the Young Macedonian. He conquered a lot of places, both the king of Persia and everything. He conquered a lot of places, and when he died, he divided his rule to his what's it called, to his soldiers, his generals, divided his empire. Don't forget that after Cyrus asks the people to go back to their land. Those that want to go, they went there. Those that don't want to go back to their, they went. And after on, for many years, somebody named Alexandra the Young Macedonia, he conquered a lot of places, a lot of land, whereby they all became his. Okay, understand? That's it. Just know that the purpose of fighting, or the purpose whereby we have war here and there. Somebody said, I said Alexander the Young Macedonia between 334 to 323. 334 to 323. He died in 323. He started in 334. That is, he gained access of many territory in 334, while in 323 he died. So when he died, his empire was divided among his generals. Hope you understand that. His empire, the northern part is called the Sumerian. No, the northern part is called Israel. Northern part is called the Israel, while the southern part is called Judah. Exactly. It is Judah that remained faithful to the land of David, or the Davidic what's it called? So I hope you get that. So we told us where I stopped. I said his empire was splitted among his generals. So now we have the first ruler. The first ruler is referred to as the Egyptian dynasty. The first ruler, those that divided Alexandria's empire. The first ruler was Egyptian dynasty. The second was the Lagis. Lagis. I gave you the notes in the first. So the date was counted back. Yes, it was counted backward. It's just like BC coming to meet AD. Hope you understand. I explained this in the class. If you have something like 536 BC, whereby they were taken into exile, so the year is coming closer to AD. So the next year will be 530 and 585. If we're talking about when they were taken into captive in 586 BC, so the next year will be 585. Another year will be 584, 583, 5. So it's until 538 that they were released. Hope you understand. So that's how the year keeps going until we now have 1 BC, that's the birth of Christ. Hope you understand. We now have 38 BC, birth of Christ. Hope you understand. I think I explained that in the class, and I think you got that now. So I told us that the generals, they splitted the reign of, or the empire of Alexandria. So the first ruler were Egyptian dynasty, the second is the Lagis, while the third is the Caesarian, Syrian, Caesarian Seleucids. Caesarian Seleucid. Solomon died at 930 BC. 930 BC. Network is bad. Maybe that's from your hand. I think I have a better network here. From your hand, please try to check. Thank you very much. So I want you to note to be very, very attentive here. When the generals divided the reign of, or the empire of Alexandria, when they divided it, the first two rulers, they ruled for some period of time, a long period of time. They were respectful to the Jewish feelings and religion. The Jew does not have any problem. So everybody does not have any problem. They rule what they want, whatever they want to do. They did whatever they want to do. Not until the last, which is Syrian Seleucid. Please note it. The first two, which is Egyptian dynasty and the Lagis, they were faithful. I mean, they respect the Jewish opinion, their religion, their feelings. They don't care about it. But the Syrian, thank God there's light. But the Syrian Seleucids, when this person became king, which is Antioch for Epiphanes. Antioch for Epiphanes. Let me say it again. Antioch for IV. They used to use they use Roman numeral. Then if they give their birth to a child, they can name that child. The king can name the child his name and give him Antioch 2. Hope you understand. If that one also give birth, if you want to continue that name, Antioch 3, Antioch 4, hope you understand. So when Antioch 4, Epiphanes, became the king of Seleucid, Syrian Seleucid, that is during the reign of Syrian Seleucid, he started persecuting the Christian, the Jewish religion. He started persecuting the Jewish religion. That is, he became king in in 175 to 164 BCE. 175 to 164 BCE. So when it started, it was referred to as the wicked um, emperor or the king. You can call him emperor or call him king. Captured in 586 and released in 5. No, no. They were captured in 586. They were captured. The Judah, that is the southern kingdom, was captured in 586 and they were given freedom in 538. 538 they were given, they were released in 538, but captured in 586. You should understand how it's being calculated now. So back to the wicked ruler, which is Antioch IV Epiphanes. When he started with persecuting the Jewish religion. He's like, which type of religion are they? Because the Jew, they were unique in their religion. They were very, very unique. So he started forcing Hellenization of the people. That you must come and do what we are doing. Uh, you must be doing things in the Greek way. Because if you could remember this person, Alexandra is the one that actually spread the Greek culture. So that is what these people follow. But when this person became king, Antioch V. Epiphanes, forcing the Jew to participate in Greek culture, to convert themselves in Greek culture, became king in what year again? Whoa. Okay, you mean Antioch IV Epiphanes? He became king in 175 to 164 BC. When we mean to means that's when he died. So he became king in 175 and he died in 164 BCE. Is that clear? Thank you very much. So we told us that he started persecuting the Jewish religion and he started forcing people to do all sorts of things that are against the Jewish religion. So another thing he did is that the Jewish religion was forbidden. It declared Jewish religion as a religion that is forbidden, as a religion that is illegal. So Greek was enforced. People was compelled to learn Greek, to live in the Greek culture, to think in a Greek way, to live in a Greek way of life. Hope you understand. And another powerful thing that is annoying is that prostitutes were brought into the temple. Prostitute, imagine. This king was one that was allowing those things, killing the Jew, killing anybody that's preaching. Prostitute was brought into the temple. Jewish ceremony were prohibited. He prohibits everything about Jew, especially circumcision. Yeah, so these are what he started doing. Overall, the most he burns the Torah. He does not want anything like that. Became king in what year again? Okay, I think I've answered that. Things that was going on during the reign of this king until the rebellions of the Seleucid was broken out in full strength. Like this, some group of people among the Jews, they called themselves the Maccabees. They were known as the Maccabees. Maccabees, let me spell that. Maccabees. Yes, because this practice of this man was becoming unbearable. Hope you understand. So these people they call themselves together and they name themselves uh, the Maccabees. And the Maccabees means men who fight violently. Men who fight violently. So they rebel against the Seleucid king. And this Seleucid king is Antioch IV Epiphanes. Hope you understand. So they rebel against it with full force. And however, in 141 BC, the Jew gained victory over their Seleucid enemy. You know, the Seleucid king is their enemy. Is one that is ordering them to be killed, to be burnt openly, to he persecuted a lot of Jews and Christians. Hope you understand. But in 141 BC, the Jew gained their victory over the Seleucid king for the first time since 586 BC. 586 is when they were taken to captive. Or when they return, things still continue. So, but in 141 BC, they gained freedom, total freedom. So, in a nutshell, we can now say that after 60 years, that is, after they gained their freedom again, For 60 years, they were free as a nation. The people of the Jews were free as a nation for just 60 years. So after, sorry, okay, so after 60 years, Israel became semi-independent again. What means semi-independent? They are not really independent. Another kingdom has fought, and they are now under another kingdom, but they are still on their land. They are still on their land. Oh, can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, please let me see that in your comment section, please. I think something is okay. More than one injection. Okay, thank you, thank you. I can see that people are okay, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. So in a nutshell, the after the 141 BC, when the Israelites gained their freedom, they only gained that freedom for 60 years, for just 60 years. And after that, they become semi-independent again. They are in Palestine, they were in the land of Palestine. So they become semi-independent under the Roman ruler. Yes. So the Roman ruler is now the one in charge now. So Herod became king. So now you see that I'm tracing it down now to Christ. I'm now tracing it down to Christ. And after 60 years, they now become semi-independent under the Roman ruler. So Herod the king became king. Herod the king became king under the Romans' authority, the Romans' approval. The Roman was the one that approved, okay, Herod, I'm appointing you as a king over this region, over the Israelites. So that is, and it was under King Herod that Jesus Christ was born. It was under King Herod that Jesus Christ was born. So I think when you have gotten to Jesus Christ, you are done answering that question. So I told you that after answering question, just go straight to in conclusion. Don't forget. In conclusion. So in conclusion, the root of Christian was rooted back to the history and religion of Israel. Christianity emanates from the Jew. From the history of the Jew comes out Christianity. Okay, just give us your conclusion might just be like 3 lines or 4 lines, just so that you tell the to tell the marker, the person marking that no, I'm done and I'm concluding. Not that I just stop halfway. Hope you understand. So always conclude if you're answering a question. I think that's how to answer that question I gave to you. Another thing I want to advise is that if you are writing, apart from paragraph, always use some adjective like however, moreover, hope you understand, perhaps, please note it down. Also, that is if you want to start another paragraph, however, between this and this, also between this and this, perhaps, consequently, is that clear? So please note that and you get a better, like, you'll be good. So another question I will be, can you guys hear me? Apoyemi Sarah, can't you hear us? I think this AC is good. Apoyemi Sarah, maybe it's from your hand though, please check your hand. So since everybody can hear me, Mommy, Ọlọ́run Yomi Abiodun, what are you saying? I don't understand what you're saying. Please write the language that I can understand. So that is that for that particular question. I'm hearing you from UK. HOC from UK. Okay. So what are you now doing in Nigeria? You should have been studying in UK now. Okay, that's good. I think so. Please, let me off this AC. I need to off my AC because the noise is becoming too much. These are like game freedom over. What I mean is that over the Seleucid king, over that Antioch for Epiphanes, so they gained freedom from him after some group of people came, men who fight. I think people are answering you in the comment section. I'm coming. Let me off my AC. The fan is okay. So that they can hear me very well. Okay, I'm back. Any questions? So people are asking questions. Israel gained freedom from their Seleucid enemy, which is the king. What's it called? Antioch for Epiphanes. Yes, is the one. He was the enemy of the Israelites. And those that assisted Israel, or those that assisted in gaining that freedom. Thank you very much. Yeah, they are referred to as the Maccabees. Add S to it. They're not just one Maccabees. They refers to as men who fight violently. Thank you very much, HOC. Thank you. I really appreciate. Then we move to number 2. Another, in case you are asked, or if you see a question that is it's something you're familiar with. The impact of, okay, the Jewish contribution to the early Christians. Jewish contribution to the early Christians. Please take note. I'm going to talk about the Jewish contribution to the early Christian. Jewish contributions to the early Christian. Thank you very much. So, if you want to talk about this, if you want to answer this question, everybody said discuss the Jewish contribution to the early Christian. Yes, you know that the Jew, they contribute immensely to the early Christian. So I always told you that what you need to do first is introduction. Introduce what you want to. Just give us a brief introduction before going straight. We know that we have a lot of Jewish practice or a lot of things listed that has helped the early Christian, which is the Jewish faith, the temple and worship, synagogue, language, Jewish diaspora, Jewish scripture, and Jewish religion. So these are how they contribute. These are the things, their own aspect of contribution to early Christians. So for you to introduce, you can just say that the Jew contributed immensely to the growth of the early Christian because it's visible. So you continue by saying that their culture, that is the Jewish culture, the Jewish language and art, faith, Jewish worship, scripture, religion in a whole cannot be overemphasized in the growth of the early Christian. That is, we cannot put these things aside, like the Jewish language, the Jewish faith, their worship, their scripture, that is their Old Testament, their scripture, and their religion cannot be set aside when we talk about the growth of Christianity. So you now say, however, the followings are the contributions of the Jews or the Jewish community to the early Christianity. Just put a semicolon, then you start explaining those contributions. I'm giving you just a brief who is this? What are you? I don't understand your comments. You can let us understand very well so that I can attend to that. So, after giving us that brief introduction, then you see that these are the following ways in which Jew or the Jewish community has contributed. Okay, thank you very much, Olorun Yomi Abiodun. Thank you very much, Oluwapamilere Peace. Ma, must we use big grammar? Did I use big grammar? Okay, what we mean contributed immensely. Okay, it's not big grammar. Please don't use big grammar. Use what your normal English. Just tell us that they contributed greatly. You can use the word greatly. And the Jew or the Jewish community contributed greatly to the growth of the early Christian. So though it's not a must to use big grammar, just use your simple English. Make sure you understand what you're writing and you'll be good. So I said this is the following ways in which the Jew contributed to the early Christians are: number one, the Jewish faith. Number one is the Jewish faith. Thank you very much, Abiola Damlola. So number one is the Jewish faith. You explain the Jewish faith. They believe. What do they believe in? What do they believe in? They believe in God. They believe in Yahweh. They believe in Him as their Father. They believe in Him as their leader. I'm not giving you big grammar. Don't worry. You'll be fine. You'll survive. Just use your own grammar. Make sure it's very simple. It's not a must to use big grammar. That's why I'm breaking them down. So let's continue. We don't have much time. So you talk about the Jewish faith, telling us who the Jew believe in. They believe in God and only God. They believe in God, and they believe in Him as a Father, as their King, their ruler, and they believe that His presence is always with them. I think I gave us an Hebrew word, the Goy, something. I think I gave us that's the only people and the priests. Is it priest nation or something like that? That the people of Israel that refers to that, because they believe that wherever they move to, the presence of God is always with them. The presence of Yahweh is always with them. He provides for them whenever they call Him. So that is the faith. That's what they believe in. So just give us brief explanation on the Jewish faith. Then you move to number two, temple and worship. You know that The worship of the Jewish people was revolved in the temple. They have no place to worship but the temple. The temple is split into three. Don't forget, is it three? I think the Holy of Holies, the Holies, and the normal congregation, the where people stays. So I told us about the temple that it is only the high priest that goes into the Holy of Holy and the Holies. The Holies is where they pray, while the Holy of Holies is where they offer sacrifice to God. And even yes, Am Kadosh. I think something like that. Thank you very much, Malari Waju. That's the HOC. Thank you so much. I appreciate. So I told us that it is divided into three, whereby we have the Holy of Holies, we have the Holies, and we have the normal place for worship. So that Holy of Holies, I told us that ordinary people does not go there, ordinary person does not go there. It is only done by the high priest too, if they want to offer sacrifice to God. Maybe it's a sacrifice of sin after you lay your hands on if after praying for you, they know that oh your sin, you need cow, oh your own you need dove, oh your own you need ram. So once you bring those ram or you bring those things, the priest will lay their hands on it, they will pray and they will transfer your sin on that animal. And that animal will be prepared for sacrifice. They will do it the way they need to do it. And the priest will take it to the Holy of Holies. If they are going to the Holy of Holies, they will be shamed in their leg. Hope you understand. They will be shamed because once they have not pure themselves, they have not cleansed themselves of their own sin, they will die there. So that is how powerful it is to ask forgiveness then. Now that you just close your eye and say, God forgive me, I have done this, I have done that, and you believe that you'll be forgiven. Then if you don't have money, if you cannot go and get cow now is how much? I think some millions now. If you want to get ram and everything, so that it will be very, very very, very difficult for people to ask forgiveness. The altar called the holy place and the holies of holy. Thank you very much, Esha Ella. And I so appreciate you. So much appreciate you. Thank you. So that is the splitting of the temple. So I'm going to explain that to us. And you now tell us that if you are explaining that temple and worship, at the end, just tell us that after Jesus Christ was after Jesus Christ died for us, the temple was I think the garment of the temple was rented into two. So everything that is in the temple was sin. We no longer need to go to the high priest to ask forgiveness. We have Jesus Christ, which is our high priest, is the one that is the first of our high priest. Once you believe in him, your forgiveness, your sin. CRS is not hard, but the history behind it make it hard. No, the history behind it make it interesting. Oluwa Pamela in peace. The history is the most important, is interesting part. Don't worry, you'll be good at last. You'll be okay. So after that, move to number. Just list those things. I listed it too, so I'm just explaining. Number one is Jewish faith. Number two, temple. Just give us brief explanation. You don't need to go long thing, but make sure you write down something like even this number one I told you with those history, your book has been filled up already. Interesting, yeah, Bolu. Shogbe song, yeah, it's very, very interesting. I know the history behind it is will be fine. Yes, now you survive. Now you survive. Everybody will survive. Don't worry. Just just keep pushing hard. You don't need to stop. No matter how hard it is, you will survive. You survive. Don't give up. Once you give up, I don't know. Those that give up does not survive. But don't give up. So I will move to synagogue. You are familiar with synagogue. Can we get handout? I think what's it called? HOC said he has seen the handout that I'm using. Yes. And he made photocopy. He has been posting on the group. Come and get photocopy. Come and pay money so you can get. Nobody is answering it. Only few people. Now you're asking me handout. The handout is with HOC. Hope you understand. You can get the handout and everything is there. Just read it. But make sure you don't just get the handout. Make sure you read it. Make sure you read it. So another thing, we'll talk about the Jewish faith, the temple, then the synagogue. You're familiar with synagogue. That synagogue is a place of worship after the exile. After they came back from exile. The temple was before the exile. Why synagogue is after the exile or even during the exile? Because when they were, when they were in exile, they start recollecting things that they do in the past. That, oh, we have a God that we serve. If you can cry to him, if you can tell him this, you can call him back. Let's start worshiping him. So they're now moving to from one house to house fellowship. They are gathering themselves. And sorry. Thank you. So they gathered themselves together and they started Isma, where were the Levite priests. The only ones, yes, the Levites are the priests. Now, what was about Levites? We talk about they are priestly people. So they are the only ones. It's among them that we have the high priest. But after Jesus Christ died, we no longer have high priest. Jesus Christ is our high priest. Nobody. I love your teaching, but this one. Sorry, to not scatter your head. Don't need that precious. Sorry, it's very, very explanatory. But you can still go back and play this video. It's always there. I think I'm saving it there in my YouTube. I always play it to just refresh your memory. So don't worry, don't worry. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So you talk about the synagogue, that is a place of worship. After the people came back, and it was built in every locality like a church, and it is used for religious and education matters, like religion. Everything that they do religiously is done in the synagogue, and they educate the younger ones also in the synagogue. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, Kashmula. So you talk about the language. It's very, very important to talk about the language. Yeah, the language of the Jews is the Hebrew language. I think we have been learning the Hebrew language. It is not really easy, so but it is their language actually, and that language helped Christianity to develop. Yes, it's always there. Those of you screen recording, you don't need to screen record. You can always come back to the YouTube channel to watch and listen at your own leisure time. I think they still practice it now. What are they practicing? Do you mean the synagogue, or do you mean the atonement of sin? Oluwapamilerin, please let's make your question or your contribution clear, please. Thank you very much. So the language is Hebrew language, and it contributed immensely to the growth of Christianity, whereby the man you gave us all the notes. What about Pharisee and Sadducee? You have to come. Be calming down now. Calm down. Pharisee and Sadducee. We'll talk about it. Don't worry. Please give us a brief note about them. Yes. I'm giving you a brief note on it. On Pharisee and Sadducee. So let's quickly finish up with this. Talk about the language, that the Old Testament was written in Hebrew language. Even the New Testament it was written in Hebrew language, because those people that wrote it, they are Jews, and the language is Hebrew, and it helped in the writing of the scripture, which allows the majority to be able to read the Bible. So Hebrew, which is the language of the Jew, also aids the growth of the early Christians. So the last one is you have the Hebrew scripture, the Jewish scripture, okay, which is we talk about language now. The Jewish scripture, which is the Old Testament or Torah. The Hebrew scripture is referred to as the Old Testament or the Torah. So that's what the Jewish people, that's what they use as their own scripture. Then that's also what Christianity banked on. That is what, because without the Old Testament, the New Testament is incomplete. The Bible is incomplete. So the Bible made up of the Old and the New Testament. So both the Jewish scripture and the New Testament made up the Christian scripture. So this Jewish scripture also assisted. Another thing I want you to talk about is the Jewish diaspora. Don't forget, ma, come again, ma, on scripture. I want to talk about scripture. Scripture, the Jewish scripture is refers to as Torah, 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 or the Pentateuch. So okay, although the Pentateuch is the first 5 books, but the Torah is the whole Bible, and sometimes the Pentateuch is referred to as the whole Bible also, but it is strictly the first 5 books. So the Jewish scripture is regarded as the Torah. It assisted. It is what the Christian Jew refers to as the Old Testament, but according to them, it is referred to as the Torah or law. But Christianity refers to it as the Old Testament. And without the Old Testament, the Bible is incomplete. It is what the New Testament rested on. It's just like the fulfillment. The New Testament is the fulfillment of the Old Testament. So that is how it actually aided the growth, or it imparted the early Christians or the Christianity, because we made use of this Hebrew scripture, which is the Old Testament. I think you get that now. Otaru or Nefua. Hope you get that. Thank you very much. So once you are done explaining, can I explain? I give us 6. 1, that's the Jewish faith 1, temple worship 2, synagogue 3, language 4, Jewish scripture 5, Jewish religion. I've not explained Jewish religion. Jewish faith is different from Jewish religion. Jewish faith is that they believe in God, believe that is with them, is this, is that. Why Jewish religion? And what is Jewish religion? Monotheism. That's why you emphasize on monotheism. God alone, believe in one God alone. So this is what makes them unique from all other religion. Yes, talk about Jewish religion. You can pick if you are answering about this. If you are answering this question, this Jewish contribution to the early Christian, you cannot just pick five. I think I gave you seven. One, two, three, four, five, six. Six. Jewish faith, temple, synagogue, language, Jewish diaspora, Jewish scripture, and Jewish religion. That's seven. You can answer five. You can pick the best five you want to talk about. So Jewish religion is monotheism, and even those that are in diaspora, those what we mean Jewish diaspora. Jewish diaspora are the Jew outside the Israelites, outside the Palestine. They are the Jews abroad. I think I gave us that to do in our misty. It seems we are just laying emphasis on our course outline one by one. Yes, that's what I'm doing. No. Not really. Not really. Not really. It might look like that, but you might not find it funny. That's what you might be seeing. What is the difference between Torah and Tanakh? Yes. Torah is strictly law, while Tanakh is refers to the whole Bible. In Hebrew, Tanakh is refers to the whole Bible, while Torah is refers to law. It can be referred to as the first five books, but some people refer it to the Old Testament. So that's the difference between Tanakh. It's not Tanakh, it's Tanakh. It is the Hebrew word for the Bible, for Bible generally. Thank you very much, Chris Knock. Chris Nook. I don't know how to pronounce that. Thank you very much. So, if you're asked to talk about the Jewish contribution to the early church, just talk about the Jewish faith, the temple, the synagogue, language, Jewish scripture, Jewish religion, or Jewish diaspora. You can pick five of it. You can download this video after. Yes, if you can do that, you can. It's if you have the data, you can download it. So after you explain those things that I list, just say in conclusion, the Christian built as Christian in the early, or let me just say Christianity as a whole. In conclusion, Christianity as a whole built their religious foundation on the Jewish practice. Yes, all these things that we mentioned now is Jewish practice, Jewish way of life, Jewish religion. So Christianity built their foundation on the Jewish practice and religion. So open as that. You can just conclude like that, or you can just add little things you want to add to it. So tell us more about the Jewish diaspora. Yes, thank you very much. I think I was about saying that before somebody was asking a question. What about Jewish diaspora? You know, in 530, I think that's 36 BC. Yeah, 538, sorry, 538 BC, when King Cyrus ordered that anybody, if you want to return, go back to your homeland. Open as some people chose to stay. Some people went from there to another place. Some people went to Egypt. Some went to, you know that. Another thing is that the northern part, which is referred to as Israel, they were taken into captive, and they were not brought back by the Assyrian exile. So we have some Jew there. We have Jew abroad, spreading over the world. Just like we have Africans. Some Africans are in what is it called? They're in London, they're in different places of the world, they're in South Africa, they're in different places. You see some Igbos. We have a lot of Igbos in South Africa doing their business. We have them also. We have different. We have Africans in different parts of the country. Yes, there is no country you will get to that you will not see African there. Africans are there. It's just like the Jew. At a particular point in time, the Jew were in different parts of the world, in the damn world. Hope you understand. Please, man, can you come again with those things you like you